Hello, welcome to Speak Up, Sis Talk Radio, the show where Christian authors share their stories through their books to inspire you to speak up and share your own story. I'm your host, author Angel Charmaine. Today, I have invited author Regina Hicks into the Speak Up Sis space to talk a little bit about her book entitled Waking Up on Purpose. You all are in for a treat. Regina has an amazing testimony that needs to be heard as much as I'm sure it needed to be told. So let's welcome her to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. This is the show where Christian authors have an opportunity to share the word of their testimony through their books and their written works in order to inspire your story. I'm your host, inspirational conversationalist and author, Angel Charmaine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today I've got with me Miss Regina Hicks. Woo! She is the author of Waking Up on Purpose, and she's got an amazing story. I had the opportunity to speak with her on the Speak Up Sis podcast, where she actually shared her full-on testimony. I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing. And so if you've not actually listened to that, you can always check out Speak Up Sis podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. But today, I invited her here to talk about the book that she wrote that is based on her story. So, Regina, welcome to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I am doing well. Sinuses sound a little stuffy, but other than that, I am doing well. All is well. Hello, everyone.
That's what's up, sis. That's what's up. So listen, before we jump into the book and talking about, your process and all that good stuff, tell the people a little bit about who you are, where you're from, whatever you'd like to share with them.
Well, my name is Regina Hicks. I am a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a believer. I am a recoverer. I am right now on this side. I'm everything and anything that God wants me to be. Okay.
That's kind of the best place to be, right? Just a useful vessel.
Yes. That is I.
I know that's right. A lot of times people want to know, well, what do you do? Who are you? They want to know what your title is, right? What do you do, in the church, in the kingdom? And I tell people all the time, I am simply a vessel that God is using to do whatever it is he chooses to do. And so I don't feel the need to tell people.
And that's where I'm at.
Anything, right?
Right, because we serve such a big God. I don't want to put myself in a box. Well, I got to be in a box. So I'm like, use me however you want to use me, whenever you want to use me. Regina, you just make sure you're available. Okay? Yeah, be the willing vessel. When I say be available, that means even when life throws situations and circumstances and trouble, you still got to be available. You got to give that sacrifice for someone else. Okay? Yes.
Exactly. Gotta sacrifice, and you gotta be obedient.
Yes. That's what led to the book. Being sacrificing my story, my life to help someone else.
That's what's up. So tell us, how did you get to this place where you decided that you were going to share your life in book formats?
Well, the thing is, I didn't decide it. It was already predestined, because I still have issues where during the process, I'm like, God, I got to share this. I got to share that. Because I had no idea of writing a book. Didn't want to write a book, especially not airing out my life and then having to write the book and write about my life, but not sharing the lives of others who also may been involved. Was kind of trying. It definitely was hurtful, and it opened up a whole lot of wounds and things that I had hitting, and so it was definitely trying. Even now, I can look at it and people ask me questions about it, and it's still because it wasn't my agenda, it wasn't my plan, but he knows the plans and the thoughts that he has for us. So I just remained obedient in it and did it. It took a while because, again, I was fighting, and I'm like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about anything. I'm good. I'm good. But once I realized it wasn't about me and it was for someone else, then hey, I put the pen to the paper and kept writing, and I allowed him to guide me in the writing.
Right. You said something that I think is that I think is really important for people to understand who are thinking about writing books about their stories. You said you sort of struggled with this idea of sharing your story without infringing upon other people's stories or, hurting people and things of that nature. And do you think it's even possible to, especially when you have a traumatic story to tell where your trauma was caused by other people, is it possible to tell your story without exposing other people? And do you think it's your responsibility to protect those people while sharing your own story?
Well, in that, it's possible to do your story because, like I said, you got to do your story from your perspective. Do your story because, like, for instance, there's a part in the book where I walked in and I saw a family member being abused by another family member. Okay, so I didn't tell that family member's name or anything like that. I just kept the focus on me and just said on what I had to do. Now I had to do something to make it seem like, okay, I'm going to keep this secret. Okay, come over here, let me feel on you. So now you're going to feel shame, because when you're young, you're going to feel shame and you're not going to tell. And then when you're like, okay, well, this is happening to this person and they're not telling. So again, is this okay? Yeah. So,
right.
And I wanted to, again, yes, protect them because that's their story to tell, but I do have a little piece in it. So since I had a piece in it, I was able to release my piece.
Gotcha. So you did that because obviously there's another victim in there.
Right.
Clearly.
Yes.
Do you think it's our responsibility to protect the abuser as well, considering they've got their own story, they've got their own perspective as well? Because I'm sure there are books where people share their story and they're very open about who the abuser was and, and what took place. Do you think that the author has a responsibility to even protect the story of the abuser?
I wouldn't say we have a responsibility. You just have to do what's best for your story. You have to do what's best for your book. Being responsible to protect them or not, that never ran across my mind because, again, they know.
Right.
They know.
Right.
They know,
Right.
and it's up to them to no, I'm not going to be responsible for that. No, because even I'm going to share something. Even with me writing the book, about my life story. Woo, 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 waking up on purpose. With that, I don't expect people to remember what I went through. Even though I have people that was a part of my life, each stages of my life, I don't expect them to remember what I went through. For
Got
instance, I talked about when someone was trying to rape me. Okay, I talked about the person in the book. Well, the person in the book, she gave me a call, and one of the what do we call those, the predators, the what do we call the people? I'm the victim, and they are
the perpetrator.
Right, the perpetrator. So she was like, "Yeah, I want to ask you a question." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's going on?" And she asked. So now the perpetrator is saying that, "Oh, we were about to have sex, and then she uh, said rape, called rape." Hmm? I said, "Well, did you ask any other questions?" I was like, "No, that's not true. That's not true." So it awakens the perpetrator. It'll awaken them. The right person reads it and looks into it and kind of figure out who's who and what's what. But yeah, so you have to be okay. And I'm okay with that. And I was like, well, girl, you remember I told you and you believed me because something kind of happened to her similar with that person. But again, you have to be okay with that. I'm going to be okay with everybody's not agreeing on my side of the story. But it's my story. It's my story to tell. It's my story that I told.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've kind of been hinting a little bit, and I think those people who are really paying attention may have some idea as to what they're going to read in Waking Up on Purpose. But if you will, please just kind of, if possible, give us a synopsis of what the book is about.
Okay. I'm gonna read something here out of the book from out of chapter 2, titled My Life. Kind of give everyone a. Oh, here we go. I was bound to the stronghold of drugs and captured by the endless take no prisoners routine. 20 years plus, I've been waking up to hurt, shame, disappointment, guilt, pain, and emptiness that could not be filled in my before Christ days. I got high every day to numb the pain of molestation by men and women, abandonment from my father, and many other tragic events that have taken place in my life. I had so many personalities that I became a master of them all.
Oh man. Yeah, I think there are probably a lot of people who will be able to relate to all of that.
Yeah, because I want my book. I'm learning every day. My book is a conversation starter for families.
Okay.
I think it's a conversation starter because I was molested so young. In my house, I didn't grow up with the, what goes on in this house stays in this house, because nothing was going on in the house.
Right.
It was outside of the home. So it's just a conversation starter to talk about sex, to talk about molestation, to talk about rape and all those things. So definitely it is a conversation starter, and for people to say that, hey, I'm not alone. For those women and men that's been molested, by family members, and they kept it a secret, and they may have been told what goes on in this house stays in this house, to say, hey, you can break free from that. You can break free from that shame and guilt, and you can wake up on purpose, okay, and fulfill
okay.
Yes.
I feel you. And for me, all of these conversations that we have in this space, I have these conversations, and I bless God that He's allowed me to create this platform because of Revelations 12 and 11.
Okay.
For we overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Right? And it goes on to say that we don't love our lives to the death. We don't love our reputations. We don't love our names so much so that we're willing to take things to the grave, but that we will share the word of our testimony in order to overcome, like you said, guilt, shame, self-condemnation, low self-esteem, and all those things. And we also have the ability to help others to overcome by sharing the word of our testimony. And so I love that you say your book is a conversation starter, because I mean, I love conversations. That's what I do.
Exactly. Okay. Yes, it's definitely that, because the key, like you just said, the key in all that is to be able to share your testimony, because who God sets free is free indeed, and there's no shame. So there's no shame in what I've been through, and a lot of people, when we hold that, it's because we're holding it with guilt and anger and bitterness and shame. We think it's our fault. And why do we think it's our fault? Because society, the world will tell us is what you had on. Would tell us is how you would dress. The world would tell us because quote unquote you are fast, and the world would tell us is that give us all the superficial. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. When I can be clothed from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet, and if somebody wants to do that, rape or assault you, they're going to do that.
Right.
They don't want your clothes. They want what's underneath the clothes. They don't care about that. They want to hurt you. They are going to hurt you.
Yeah. And as believers, we know that it's not even necessarily what's underneath the clothes either. It is power. Right. It is being able to exert this, this power over something else, to have this authority over someone in this, in this violent way. So I totally understand. I totally agree with that. So listen, why Waking Up on Purpose? Why did you title this this part of your life, this book, Waking Up on Purpose? Where'd that come from?
It came from because being, like I said, addicted to drugs, 20 years plus, I had no purpose. That was my purpose. So because the title and the cover is important to me, because the thing is, once I realized who I was in Christ, once God revealed that to me, I was able to wake up and break the chains of drugs, abandonment, addiction, rejection, drugs, anger, abandonment. I was able to break free from all that. So I'm able to. So now, as every day I wake up, I'm waking up on purpose.
So did you feel and excuse me for interrupting. It's a little bit of a delay. Did you feel like you were asleep for all these years? Like, did you feel like you were just totally out, not aware of what was really going on? Or did you feel more like a foggy haze? Or were you just like sleepwalking, like just comatose and moving?
I just was numb and moving. And then it came apart, I was like, God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this the rest of my life, this way of how I'm doing things, And it came a place in my life where I just was like, I'm numbing myself, I'm getting high, but then I'm starting to remember the pain. The molestation is coming up. The hurt and rejection is coming up. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm getting high to feel good. I ain't trying to get high to remember the pain. So it's working. It ain't something, what's going on? So he started to interrupt, so I'm like, So yeah, that's what led the journey to of stopping and things like that. So, and it's in the book too as well on what were some of the things that led up to me stopping. Yeah, but I'll let you guys purchase the book and read that part.
Yes, that's good. I mean, you might could give us a little something like, like what's one? It doesn't have to be a major thing, but like, what's one small thing that you can share that kind of nudged you into like, get up?
One thing, I'll say, it's kind of hard because the one thing is the major thing.
Okay.
And that one thing, it is the major thing.
And we don't want to tell y'all
Exactly
because we want you to read the book. We want you to read it in its entirety to get the fullness of her story.
You know, people say you're not supposed to, I heard people say you're not supposed to bargain with God. So like I said before, I was waking up on purpose. I was like, God, okay, if you do this, then I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you are real to me, then show me this.
Uh-huh.
So I had a lot of if you are this, things, and he showed himself, and I was like, oh, okay. So
it's kind of hard to stay asleep and ignore God when he shows himself to you directly. You know, there are people, I didn't even know this was a thing, but I guess this is kind of a sidebar. You know, I can be intellectual sometimes. I just like to read and study and learn. But I learned that there are some people who are Christians who believe that God doesn't actually talk to us directly.
Oh yes, they are. They are. It is.
I didn't know people actually believe that, because I mean, I've read in scripture where God says he'll talk to you. So for people to say that doesn't happen is kind of, you know.
Because why would he create us and he knows our name and know every hair on our head, but he don't talk to us?
Right.
He's not the natural father. Not everybody had a bad father, natural father.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he's not a natural father. Yeah, he wants to commune with us all the time.
Right. You know? That's what I thought. I mean, hey, but you know, everybody's got their thing, but it is kind of difficult to actually experience, whether it's you heard, you just kind of knew, you felt, you experienced, whatever word you want to use for it. But it's really difficult to meet Jesus in whatever way you meet him and then just be the same.
You better come on now. You better come on. Yes, it really is. It really is. Because when I say, God, I want to be more like you, I want to be more like you, and he's like, okay, and he know we're coming from a sincere, genuine place. If we allow him, he's going to work on those areas. He's going to prune you in those areas only so that you can come out more of his character, you know, so you can carry those fruits of the spirit, you know, so that you can be able to be your brothers and your sisters keeper, because you can't be your brothers and your sisters keeper and you selfish. That's not going to work. You're not long suffering. That's not going to work. You don't have self control. That's not going to work, because you're going to end up hurting someone, even if it's not intentional. You know. And back to with a sidebar with my book, Want to Be a Conversation Starter, and I want someone to know that, you know, it was only maybe 6 years that I so I really don't know the years, but it was just kind of recent that I told my mom about the molestation and stuff like that. So I want them to know that it's never too late. You can always share your story with someone. You know, you can always tell someone. You know, just like with the Me Too movement. You know, people would say, "Oh, well, why they coming out now? Look how long it's been." Okay, look how long it's been for them. They've been hurting that. They've been holding that. And not they. I've been holding that. I was masking that. And what that led me, a life of drugs, a life of turmoil, you know. So don't beat someone up because they finally got the courage to speak up and say something. Yeah. Because it's not easy. Because again, we live in a world where it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. Yeah. It's the victim's fault. Some kind of way it's the victim's fault, you know. what you smelled like again, what you had on, what are you doing? It just seems to always turn back to the victim, and people
Right.
just hold it in rather than share their story because, for whatever reason. But I'm glad that God chose me and uses me to share my story, and I'm not ashamed of my story because I know my truth. Yeah, and
Right.
I stand in the truth.
Well, I want to before we wrap it up, because we're about in that place. The conversation is always so great.
Yeah.
But I would like for you to share a little bit of your writing process, the actual getting the story written. Because one thing that I know about you that other people may not know is, how you feel about technology and things of that nature. For those who don't know, I mean, I'm probably sure nobody knows, but I've had the opportunity to work one-on-one with
so grateful.
Yes, and actually helping her to get this beautiful piece of work in electronic form.
Yes.
Please share a little bit about persevering and getting to the point where you actually got it written and published, because you're not someone who's just some author who's writing books for years and years and doing all these types of things, right? So if you will, please just share a little bit of the process of you actually writing the book itself.
Well, definitely, I have a lot of, and I should have brought it out. I didn't know, but a lot of paper and a lot of pen.
So you hand wrote your book?
And yes, I handwritten my book. I hand wrote it. I didn't have a computer at the time. I have one now. Woo woo woo. Still don't again, learning how to use it. Thank God for Angel Charmaine. Speak up, sis. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. She's a safe place. Because one thing about it, you got to realize, I was on drugs for so long. So you're not gonna. My mind is being renewed. He is restoring my mind. So even with him restoring my mind, I have to take the risk of asking for help of the unknown. I have to take the risk of being rejected. You know what I'm saying? I have to make myself vulnerable because I could have reached out to you. You could have said no, but you didn't. So yes, I handwritten my book, a lot of erasing, a lot of writing over. I did that, and then let me share this real quick. I did that at a time where I was in my life. It's not in the book where I had to learn how to write and stuff again because I started the process and then I got sick. So then I had to stop for about 2 years. So with starting back, I had to learn how to write again and things like that.
You mean physically write, like pick up a pen and write?
Yes, pick up a pen.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it definitely, I mean, I would be sleeping. He'll wake me up and say, write this and write that and put this here and put that there. And then again, I went through the process of getting people to read it and I don't know what you call it when they proofread it and try to get it in order, whatever.
Yeah, beta readers and editors. And,
right. But
proofreaders.
Still to find out, I had to do all the work, and I learned that I had to do all the work so that God can get all the glory. Yeah. So to say that, hey, this little chick over here, bound on drugs, don't know anything about computers, don't know anything about, this writing world. Look what she did. She can do it, you can do it too. And you can do it too. And when I was younger, I would take songs when I was younger and like rewrite them to poems. Like I can do a poem, but like people always say, oh, we miss you, other jobs, we miss you, because I'll come out with a poem or a rap or a rhyme real quick. That's like real quick. I can do jingles. I need to find somebody. I can do some jingles for some people. Okay. But but yeah, so that was that process, and again, pen and paper. pen and paper and listening, because during each process, I had to go through some things. I had to heal and I had to recover. So it wasn't anything quick, because again, he was peeling some stuff off of me, and he was delivering me from some things and setting me free and allowing me to see that, hey, it wasn't your fault. Yeah. But even though it wasn't your fault, look at you now. You're okay. You're okay because I'm with you. Yeah, you're okay because you're safe in me, because he is my refuge. He's my defender, my protector. So yeah, yeah, it was a long process, but I would encourage anybody. Now they got this technology. Even now, I am writing, working on another book. Um, but this time, through the help of you, whoop, 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 I'm going to be doing everything myself. But guess what, guys? I'm going to admit, I'm still like, I haven't got to the computer yet. I got to keep telling myself, the computer is my friend. The computer is my friend.
Yes.
And I got to start typing. And even with the audio, I'm like, okay, I'll press the button, and I'm like, okay, wait, okay, wait, and it's just like, girl, get over it, okay? You are already there. Stop acting silly. I have to
Yes.
have those the pep talks with myself, and I thank God and I bless God for you, because even when I'm stuck in those moments, I'm able to give you a call. And guys, let me say this too. Angel Charmaine has services. You know, I had to invest. Well, I just want to, hey, I had to invest in myself. I don't want anyone to think like, like whatever, but I had to invest in myself. Meaning, guys, we got to invest in ourselves. You know, none of this was free. Everybody that played a part, how this book got out, I had to invest in myself. God gave me the resources and divine connections. So I'm grateful for my next journey, that is not going to be as hard as the first.
Right.
Okay, 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 okay.
Because I like to say I bless God. He has given me a gift of teaching, and I feel like I taught pretty well. I think you got this thing.
Hey, yes, yes. And that's what I hear when I'm hearing it. I'm like, okay, let me, I hear your voice. Girl, go ahead and press that button and get this book on audio. What are you waiting on? Get the book on audio. And I'm
Pull
like,
that notebook out and get to studying. So listen, I bless God for your life. I thank God for your story, your testimony. And I am grateful that you were obedient to put that story on paper so other people can benefit from it. Please tell us how people can access the book. How can they purchase the book? And if anyone wants to reach out to you directly, are you on social media? What are your handles?
okay, to purchase the book, it is on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon.com and, type in Waking Up on Purpose. It's by Regina Hicks. It's also on Kindle there. I am working on getting it on audio. I am on social media, on Instagram, um, at Waking Up on Purpose. I am on Facebook. You can find me there on the page Waking Up on Purpose, also under Regina Hicks. Um, the best way would definitely be Waking Up on Purpose page. You can reach me through email, rhicks326 at gmail.com. You can reach me there. And yeah, I'm here to help you have a discussion, whether it's with a family member, whether it's with a group of teenagers, a group of women. I'm here to wake up on purpose to let you guys know your input matters. Why?
Mm.
Because input matters. And that's just another um, divine thing that God has given me. It's titled Your Input Matters. I have a Facebook page, and it's just where um, going to soon be where women we get out and we just encourage each other, and we uplift each other, and we say that, hey, your input matters, because I want them to know I've been there and I've done that, you know. I've been there because sometimes people be there and been there and done that, but they have so much shame. They make people feel ashamed, It makes people feel guilty because they're not there where they are, and we
Right.
should never make anyone feel like that. I feel like I'm a love agent, and I'm here to let people know that if you receive God's love, He will heal you in every area of your heart.
You most definitely will. And with that, we're done for the day. So thank you so much again for coming into the space and sharing. Please, everyone listening, go grab a copy of Regina Hicks' Waking Up on Purpose. You can go to Amazon and grab a copy of that and connect with her on social media. I'm sorry.
I was saying I can even mail it. It'll be a little more costly if I mail it, but I can mail it to you as well.
Hey, if you want an autographed copy, a hard copy, then you can contact her directly and get you an autographed copy. All right. So you all have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Not waking up on purpose.
I'm gonna have to get you to do a jingle for me. All right, everyone, we're done for the day. I appreciate your time and ear. I thank you for tuning in to Speak Up Sis Talk Radio, where Christian authors have an opportunity to share their stories to inspire yours. Please visit me online at speakupsis.com. Follow me on Facebook at Speak Up Sis Talk Radio, Instagram at speak.up.sis, Twitter at Speak Up Sis. You can even email if you just like to give feedback on today's show. Email contact@speakupsis.com. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Bye.